You already know about Jose Protasio Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines. But what about the brains behind the Philippine Revolution? Welcome to the channel where we bring you interesting information about the past in bite-sized videos. Marcelo H del Pilar, more popularly known as Pilar. Fact: no. 1. His real name was really long. If you thought Marcelo sounded long, wait till you hear his full name. Marcelo H del Pilar Maitan. He was also known by his pen name. The two are often used interchangeably, so if you hear people talking about Marcelo, it might just be a shortened version of his full name or his pen name. No. 2. He was a lawyer who hated hypocrisy. Del Pilar graduated from Universidad de Santo Tomas with a degree in law, but he didn't like the Spanish legal system. He saw how it favored the wealthy elite and the clergy, so he gave up his legal career to focus on his writing. He wrote a lot of pamphlets denouncing the Spanish colonial government. His most famous work was Dasalan at Tocsahan, a collection of satirical prayers parodying the Catholic prayers that Filipinos were taught to pray. In Dasalan at Tocsahan, the Lord's Prayer becomes a prayer against the gluttony of the friars. The Hail Mary is transformed into a lament about the abuses of the clergy, and the Our Father is rewritten as a complaint about the corrupt officials of the Spanish colonial government. Now imagine the audacity it took to publish such a book in a country. No. 3. He trolled the friars with prayer. Del Pilar wasn't just a saint. He was a social critic, a propagandist, and a revolutionary. He was a master of language and wit, and he used these gifts to fight for the rights of his people. He published satirical cartoons and comic strips ridiculing the friars. He wrote poems and songs mocking the Spaniards. He edited newspapers and magazines exposing the abuses of the colonial government. He even founded a secret society called the Kamay de Propaganda para la Defensa de los Victorias Filipino, which aimed to defend the rights of Filipinos through peaceful means. Number 4. He was the brain behind La Solidaridad was a Spanish daily newspaper that played a vital role in the Philippine Revolution. It was founded by Filipino reformers in Barcelona, Spain in 1889. Its main purpose was to promote the assimilation of the Philippines into Spain as equal which is also the main goal of the propaganda movement. The paper advocated reforms such as the secularization of the clergy, the promotion of education, the recognition of Filipino culture and language, and the implementation of a more equitable tax system. Although Jose Rizal is often credited with starting La Solidaridad, it was actually Graciano Lopez Llana who founded the paper. However, Lopez Llana left Spain for Paris due to his failing health, and Del Pilar took over as editor. Del Pilar was a brilliant writer, and he used his skills to expose the abuses of the Spanish colonial government and advocate for reforms. He wrote over 150 articles for La Solidaridad under various pseudonyms such as Dolores Manapat, Pipe Delot, and others. No. 5. He sacrificed his health for the propaganda movement. Did you know that Del Pilar left the Philippines for good in 1888, leaving behind his wife and kids? He settled in Barcelona and devoted himself to writing and editing. In 1895, he was diagnosed with tuberculosis, and he spent his last years in a cheap room with his brother, coughing blood while still writing for our freedom. He died alone and broke on April 4, 1896 at the age of 45. Now 6. He and Rizal weren't always on the same page. Del Pilar and Jose Rizal were both leaders of the propaganda movement, a period in Philippine history when Filipinos demanded reforms from the Spanish colonial government through peaceful means. However, they had different views on how to achieve their goals. Rizal believed in a more moderate approach, working within the system and appealing to the Spanish authorities. Del Pilar, on the other hand, was more radical. He wanted to overthrow the Spanish government and establish a Filipino republic. This difference in ideology led to a split between the two groups and eventually to the Philippine Revolution. No. 7. His face is on money, but not for long. Yes, that's right. Del Pilar's face used to be on a 5-peso bill alongside Lopez Llana. They were both former editors of La Solidaridad and symbols of Filipino nationalism. But in 2020, the Banco Central the new 5-peso bill will feature the Philippine eagle, a rare and endangered bird of prey found only in the Philippines. So if you have an old 5-peso bill lying around, check it out. You might have a piece of history in your wallet. There you have it. 7 facts about Marcelo H. del Pilar, the man who wrote our freedom. Do you admire Marcelo H. del Pilar? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. See you next time.